What the hell is happening, guys? Stevo here. Hope you're all good out there. I'm pretty damn good myself. Tuesday, midday, lovely sunny autumn day outside. Winter's on its way. But other than that, all gravy. It's half term at the minute, so the kids are running wild. Luckily, I've got an amazing partner who has just taken them out for a couple of hours so I can do this video, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back review, and I'll do another one after, but you'll see that. The new Jack Reacher film. Before I start this, you guys need to know one thing about me, and that is I'm an absolute Jack Reacher fanatic. Love the character. Lee Child, for me, when he created Jack Reacher, he created one of the best fictional badasses ever written. See, there's been 20 Jack Reacher books over the last 20 years. I've read all 20 of those books. And obviously the original Jack Reacher movie was announced. Lee Child made the announcement himself that the one and only Tom Cruise would play Jack Reacher. Immediately I vowed never to watch a Jack Reacher movie again, or watch one. I watched the original Jack Reacher movie. I was very disappointed. It was a passable watch if you've got an hour and 45 minutes of your life with nothing to do. But the problem that Jack Reacher, that film companies are always going to have when translating Jack Reacher from page to film is what goes on in Jack Reacher's head. Now, they can't do a flashback for every time Reacher is planning out his next move in the movie. It just wouldn't make a good movie. It'd make a shit movie, let's face it. So it's very tough. Let's also bring into account that Jack Reacher is 6'3", 300 pounds, a fucking brick shithouse. And Tom Cruise is 5'2", pussyhole. Mission Impossible is a very good series. They made an absolutely fantastic film last year that pissed all over Spectre, let's face it. But Jack Reacher is not Tom Cruise is not Jack Reacher. And this isn't me being a book Nazi and saying, oh, you can't make a good film out of a good book, because that's bollocks. Done right, a good book can translate to a good film. But this is the problem with Jack Reacher. Tom Cruise isn't Jack Reacher, and Never Go Back is a passable film. It's an hour and 53 minutes of Never Go Back. The book is an awesome book. Jack Reacher, he finds out he may have a daughter. He finally meets Susan Turner. The storyline is pretty damn good with the weapon smuggling. It turns out to be drug smuggling. The villain, the main villain, is awesome, and the film gets some of that across. Don't get me wrong, it is not a terrible film, and you will read reviews of Jack Reacher Never Go Back saying that it's shit, it's boring, blah blah blah, but it's not. It's a passable film. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but I've got a few problems with it. Let me go through the good things. Good things. It's great seeing the Jack Reacher movie because I love the books. Second thing, it's very well shot, very cinematic. But these films, if it weren't for the fact that we have a running monologue in Jack Reacher's head in a lot of these books, then these films would translate beautifully into film. But that isn't the case. Jack Reacher is better on the pages than he is on the big screen. Even if we had the ideal Jack Reacher, and I don't know who that is. Hugh Jackman would make a good one if he bulked up a bit. Give me a comment and see who you think Jack Reacher should be. But he doesn't translate very well to film. I'm very sure this film will do quite well at the box office. It's a very, very okay film. It's enjoyable. People, like, guys who don't know anything about Reacher will enjoy the action and stuff like that. You can take your girl to watch this film. There's a good storyline where he looks after the little girl, the teenage girl, and Susan Turner. The scene where he busts her out of military prison is fucking quality. That scene, for me, is one of the best in the film. And also the film at the end with the Halloween parade is pretty fucking good as well. But the scene where he busts her out of jail and himself translated beautifully from the book to the film. That was about the only thing that did. That was the high point of the film for me. The problem I have is Jack Reacher is an unmistakable badass. And he takes 3 beatings in this film, like proper beatings. And in the books, Jack Reacher doesn't take beatings. He is a badass. And when he's fighting, and he's surrounded by 4 guys, we get his every thought process to the second, sometimes to the millisecond of what he's going to do, what they're thinking, what he's thinking, how many steps ahead they think they are, how many steps ahead he actually is. We get this from Jack Reacher, the inner monologue of Jack Reacher. We get that in the books. We don't get that in the film. It wouldn't translate well to film, and herein lies the problem. Because these are the best parts of the book, because you get an understanding in his psyche. They try it in the film when Susan Turner turns to says to him, "Have you ever lost anyone in the line of duty?" And she asks him another couple of questions. He has that long, drawn-out stare off into the distance, and you know that the film is trying to tell you, the director of the film is trying to tell you, and Tom Cruise as an actor is trying to tell you that at that point, Jack Reacher is thinking about all the things he's lost. There's moments like that before the fight scenes, and that's the director and Tom Cruise trying to tell you what Reacher's inner monologue is. And unfortunately, that doesn't translate to film. But no, there isn't a but. It just doesn't work. As much as I want to sit here, I love Jack Reacher. I want to sit here and tell you that this is the best fucking film since sliced bread, but it's not. It's a serviceable film. It's watchable, kind of enjoyable, but it's bang average. And I've given you the reasons why, because Jack Reacher as a character doesn't translate well from page to screen. And the new book comes out on November the 8th. If you really want to get into Jack Reacher, I would recommend reading Night School when it comes out on November the 8th, because it's going to be a prequel to when Jack Reacher was in the Royal Military Police. I recommend you read that rather than watch the film. If you don't know anything about Jack Reacher, read a book first before you see the films. That's my advice. That's as a fan of Jack Reacher. If you've read a book and you like Jack Reacher, watch the film. You might be surprised. I was kind of surprised with this film. It was better than I thought it was going to be. The first one wasn't. The first one was terrible. The first one was alright, but it weren't great. This is better. They did a better job this time round. Maybe the third Jack Reacher film, they could do a better job. But for me, they need to get rid of Tom Cruise, and they need to... Lee Child, this is a message for you personally. When you are writing these books, stop writing them thinking of Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher, because it's taking the sting out of the books as well too, mate. It really is. When you sit down to write next year's Jack Reacher, don't have Jack Reacher in your head as Tom Cruise when you're writing the book, because it's ruining the books as well. When I read these books, I don't think as Jack Reacher as Tom Cruise, but in the last 3 or 4 books, you've given me no choice but to think of him like that, because that's how they're written now. And before Tom Cruise was Jack Reacher, the books were fucking outstanding. They're still brilliant books, but they're sliding. The last one, Make Me, was fucking excellent though. I did enjoy that. Personal, not so good. But I'm looking forward to Night School because it's going back to the army. But yeah, watch the film, guys. See what you think. That's my thoughts on Jack Reacher. This is El Stevo. It's my first ever movie review. Leave a comment. Please subscribe. If you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't like it, subscribe. And let's have an argument in the comments. If not, let's have a chat in the comments. El the Fox on Facebook. El Stevo5 on Instagram. Might not add you on Facebook, but I might do. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. I'm always up for it. It's El Stevo signing out. Jack Reacher, never go back. Peace.